James Comey, Saving Justice, Truth, Transparency, and Trust. In Saving Justice, Truth, Transparency, and Trust, James Comey shares his insights from a long and varied career working within the U.S. Department of Justice (DOJ). From witnessing the reservoir of trust being built to observing serious missteps within the system, Comey provides a unique perspective on the DOJ's mission to uphold truth and justice. The book highlights Comey's journey from junior prosecutor to director of the FBI, offering valuable lessons gleaned from high-profile cases and challenging decisions. This summary invites readers to explore the vital importance of these personal experiences and the significance of maintaining truth, integrity, and transparency within the Department of Justice in order to preserve people's trust.
The Trust Reservoir. James Comey shares his experience observing and later joining the Department of Justice as a federal prosecutor, where he found that the DOJ's attorneys were different than other lawyers. They were not motivated by politics or money, stood apart from the political world, and took on cases they believed in. Comey also emphasizes the importance of continuously earning the trust of the people by upholding the commitment to truth, as human beings make mistakes, and actions that deplete the reservoir of trust will damage the reputation of the DOJ. Comey shares a personal story about prosecuting a drug case he didn't believe in but followed orders at the time, which ultimately led to an acquittal. He promises himself never to prosecute a case he doesn't believe in again. Liar. Liar. The book excerpt delves into a fur theft case that highlights how people lie and deceive to evade the truth. It reveals how dishonesty can affect the justice system, and the consequences of allowing it to prevail unchecked. The author brings to light how crucial it is for institutions like the DOJ, FBI, and others to operate with transparency and the belief in seeking the truth. The Witness Protection Program. The Witness Protection Program, operated by the U.S. Marshal Service, is a secretive program that protects cooperating witnesses whose lives are in danger. Witnesses are relocated to different parts of the country and given new identities. Vincent DeMarco was one such witness who helped bring down the Gambino crime family but ended up breaking the law while in the program. Despite this, federal prosecutors maintain transparency to maintain trust. The Comeys returned to Virginia. After wanting to leave New York City, James Comey transferred to a product liability practice before returning to the DOJ in Richmond. Despite feeling despondent about his client and experiencing a humble courtroom with shabby conditions, Comey found the new and strange cases at the DOJ to be satisfying and fulfilling. One such memorable case involved a sex scandal and a wealthy couple who lied to banks and investors, ultimately leading to federal charges and a guilty plea. Comey's fight for Southern District's independence. Comey's leadership journey at the Southern District of New York, the background of the office's reputation for being above politics, and Comey's efforts to protect it. After leading the investigation into the 9/11 attack, Comey received an offer from the Bush administration to lead the Southern District of New York, which he couldn't refuse. This office has a reputation for being holier than thou, thanks to its transformative history under Henry Stimson. Stimson's tenure saw the removal of corrupt officials, the shunning of money in politics, and a focus on intelligence, hard work, and principles. Comey didn't have much political capital when he first came on board. He was a career lawyer with no family connections or money. Maine Justice even thought he would be easier to influence, sending in lawyers from D.C. to argue cases. Comey refused to let anyone push him around or tarnish the Southern District's independence, and he knew he needed to raise his profile to do so. He began arguing cases himself and appearing on TV shows like The Today Show to increase his profile. Comey's efforts were not for personal gain or to feed his ego. He knew it was crucial to make it more difficult for D.C. to infringe on the Southern District's independence. Comey's leadership journey at the Southern District is a testament to the importance of staying vigilant and independent in the face of political pressure. Comey's approach to justice. This summary discusses James Comey's experiences as U.S. Deputy Attorney General and how his approach to justice was guided by the need for impartiality and sensitivity. It explains how Comey's leadership was tested in the high-profile case of Sandy Berger and how he learned the importance of not pursuing one case over another, especially when it involved individuals connected to politics. The summary also presents a key lesson on why presidents should never express their personal views on individual cases to ensure impartiality is maintained within the Department of Justice. Trust through transparency. This summary discusses the significance of transparency in building public trust through the actions of James Comey, the former U.S. Deputy Attorney General and Director of the FBI. The author highlights 3 incidents where Comey took accountability for FBI errors through press conferences, resulting in a promise to improve. They include the Dylann Roof case, where a gap in protocols led to the purchase of a murder weapon, misrepresentation of DNA findings by FBI lab technicians, and the potentially politicized opening of an investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server while serving as Secretary of State. The summary emphasizes the importance of admitting mistakes, owning them publicly and demonstrating a willingness to improve as crucial in building trust with the public. The untruthful interactions of Trump and Comey. This passage delves into the tumultuous relationship between former FBI Director James Comey and Donald Trump. It covers the events leading up to Comey's termination, including private meetings where Trump demanded loyalty and asked Comey to drop the investigation into Michael Flynn. The passage also highlights Trump's attempts to downplay Russian interference in the election and the subsequent investigations. Finally, the author discusses how the Department of Justice has been further damaged by Attorney General William Barr's misrepresentations of Robert Mueller's report. Throughout the passage, the author emphasizes how Trump prioritized his personal agenda above all else and how such actions have caused significant harm. Restoring public trust in the Department of Justice. Following the Watergate scandal and Nixon's misuse of the Department of Justice for his own corrupt goals, public trust in institutions like the DOJ and FBI was at an all-time low. To restore trust and independence, Nixon's successor, Gerald Ford, tapped Edward Levi to clean house at the DOJ and change the culture of the organization. Levi, a storied law professor with no known political affiliations, got rid of Hoover's counterintelligence program and pushed for transparency and truth. Levi knew that culture stemmed from leadership and that maintaining the values of transparency, truth, and independence must be fought for continually. Today, DOJ leadership has let these values slip, but the hope is that the next Attorney General will follow in Levi's footsteps and restore trust in the Department of Justice.
Comey's Saving Justice, Truth, Transparency, and Trust offers an insightful examination of the workings of the U.S. Department of Justice. It emphasizes the importance of remaining true to the DOJ's core values in order to preserve citizens' trust. The book chronicles Comey's own experiences with various cases and decisions throughout his career, revealing the complexities of maintaining impartiality, resisting political pressure, and navigating delicate situations. It highlights the significance of transparency, strong leadership, and continual vigilance in upholding the principles of justice. With engaging storytelling and insightful perspectives on critical issues, Saving Justice encourages readers to recognize and defend the values that preserve justice, truth, and trust.